Hi there. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Are you good? Are you okay? Or are you kind of down? Good. Awesome. So today, this will be a little demonstration or a mini lesson of my full lesson for math. And so I just wanted to introduce a little bit what I'm doing here. And I'm posting the link on YouTube so my peers and my teacher can see it. And I decided to do an online class because this is very timely. A lot of teachers have to or had to go online. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, boys and girls, today we will start off with saying some really fun facts that I found about different shapes, areas, and perimeter. Okay, so today will be a continuation of what we did last week or at the beginning of this week. Also, we talked about the perimeter, and today we'll be concentrating on the area. And what does an area of a shape mean? How can we find the area? Okay, so let's start off with some fun facts. Do you know that if you want to fix houses or if you want to design houses or buildings, you'll have to know how to find the perimeter or the area? You didn't know that?
I know I did.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Because if you are trying to go ahead and imagine a beautiful house and draw up house plans, you need to know those things. Those things are very important. And today we will learn them together in class. Okay. Very good. Okay. So I will go ahead and recap a little bit or preview the lesson. We'll start off by watching a very cute little video on YouTube. It will give you a little preview of what an area is, how to find the area, what it means. Then we'll talk about the video. I have 3 questions prepared, and we're going to go ahead and chat. So I'm going to open the chat, and we'll be able to go ahead and give our opinions on there. Okay. So after that, we'll read a really fun book. It's called Bigger, Better, Best. Okay, so we'll read the book together, and then we're going to go ahead and fill out a visual graph about the book. All right, so we can kind of review it. Then after that, we'll review our vocabulary words, and we'll be able to go ahead and play a Kahoot game or a quiz that's prepared online. Okay, then after that, we'll work on our formative assignment. It's a practice worksheet we can work on together. And then after that, we'll take a quiz. Okay, so I will go ahead and time you, and you'll be able to take your quiz. Usually I would not time you, but since today is a mini lesson, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then for enrichment, I have a lot of fun activities planned if you're done with everything. Okay, so are you ready to start?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video that I wanted to show you. It's here on YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead and get that right now. And so go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So this is the video. It's Area for Kids by Homeschool Pop. And it's around 8 minutes. So after we watch the video, we're going to go ahead and talk about the questions. Okay, boys and girls, you enjoyed this video, didn't you? It's pretty educational. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and talk about 3 different things I wanted to do. So number 1, what is the difference between the perimeter of a shape and the area of a shape? What do you think? Raise your hand. What do you think? Yes.
The perimeter is around the area.
Very good. So the perimeter is, do you add or do you multiply? Yes, very good. So you add all around the shapes. And what about the area? How do you find the area?
Multiply.
Very good. You multiply one side with the other to find what's inside. Very good. Very good. Okay, second question. Let's go ahead on the chat because I forgot that. I'm so sorry. Let's go on the chat. So the question 2, I'm going to type it here, is how can you explain what a square unit is. So this is the question. And I also type the second question. If you have an answer for the second question, go ahead and type it in. Okay. Any ideas for this question? No? Okay. Do you remember how an area, as we saw in the video, is a big shape, and a square unit is a little tiny square in this shape? So it's called a square unit, okay? A little space that looks like a square. All right. And we'll talk about it more, of course. Okay. And third question is, how or should we do length times width or length plus width to find the area of a shape? So I'm going to write the question here. If you think about that, that would be great. Go ahead and write it up. To find the area of a shape. Okay, what do you think? Very good. Times is the area. One side times the other side is the area of the shape. Very good. Thank you so much for participating on the chat. High five. Great work. Woo! Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and read our book. It's called Bigger, Better, Best. Okay. And since we're not going to read the book right now, and it's a mini lesson, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the picture of the book. I thought that was very interesting. This book is amazing because it talks about area, and it kind of introduces area to children and what does it mean, but it also does it in a literature way. So it's a very, very fun story. I'm going to go ahead and share that. Okay, so this is what the book looks like. And it's a math start book. Bigger, Better, Best by Stuart G. Murphy and illustrated by Marsha Winborn. So just to kind of accelerate this process, the book is about a brother and a sister, and they're always fighting. And they're always fighting about who has the best book and who has the best room and who has the best bed. And then eventually they fight about their new room in the new house. And their mother suggests that they go ahead and take pieces of papers or units, square units in this case, and they go ahead and count how much area is all around their room. So they count the area around a window, then around a wall, and then around all the walls. And then they can kind of fight and see who has the biggest room. But in the end, they do end up seeing that it's the same. So there is no need for fighting. And then they realize it's not okay to fight. So there's a little bit of a moral there, but it's also a lot to do with area. So that's very good. Okay, boys and girls, now that we read the book, let's go ahead and look at some questions for the book. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it out here. So according to the book, who were the two main characters and why would they fight? What do you think? Who were the two main characters and why would they fight? Do you remember? It's a little brother and yes. And why are they fighting? Why do you think? What is it? Oh, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Oops. Okay. So, yeah, so they are fighting because they want the best book or the best game or the best room. And then my second question is, when they both moved into the new home, why did they fight about rooms? What do you think?
Because they want the bigger room.
Yes, they want the best room. That's right, the bigger room, the cooler room. Third question about the book. What did their mother suggest, and what was the result of that? What does she suggest? You
To
remember?
measure the room
Yes, with what?
with areas.
That's right, to find the area of different places in the room. Very good. And of course, if this was a real class, I would go ahead and share this right here. It would be a visual graph where we would kind of write it as a classroom and talk about the book and answer each question in each of those sections in the visual graph. So, okay, boys and girls, now that we're done with our book, we're going to go ahead and do some review about some vocabulary words. Okay, and then we're going to play a really fun quiz online, and then we kind of going to review our knowledge about those words. So the first word that we're going to go ahead and touch on is, of course, what do you think? Area and perimeter. We have to talk about those for sure. Okay, let me pull it up. Here we go. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. There we go. So this is the first one. And can someone read this little portion about area and this portion about perimeter? What does it say with the area version?
Inside a perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Length times width.
Very good.
Count the surface, count the square units. Unit is some type of square unit.
Okay, and what do we use?
X.
Yes, so multiplying, right? Multiplication. Okay, what about perimeter? Could you read perimeter for me?
Outside the polygon, add length, each side length, measure unit.
Yes, and the operation is?
Add.
Yes, addition. Very good. Okay, we are done with that one. Okay, so the next vocabulary word I have ready is the one right here, and it's about formulas. That's very important to understand because with formulas is where you can find the area of different shapes. But today, of course, we're only talking about the square and the rectangle. So let me go ahead and share my screen with the second word. The second word is formula. Could you read this first sentence for me? Right here, a formula.
Shows the mathematical way to work something out.
Perfect. So each different shape has a different formula. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the third vocabulary word. It has to do with addition. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. Alrighty. So addition means putting two amounts together. Okay. For example, there are 2 blue balloons and 3 green balloons. There are 5 balloons all together. Okay. So that's addition. And again, that's a review of what we already know and talked about in previous weeks. Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about the next one. Picture 4. Square unit could be a little bit of a confusing term. So we have to go ahead and look at this right now. Let me go ahead and share this one. Okay, so what is a square unit?
One or width times length.
Yeah, and it's a little piece in the whole shape that we're talking about. Could be a square, could be a rectangle. Yes, that's one square unit. Okay, very good. Let me go ahead and go to the next one. Oh, I believe we're done. Oh, awesome. Okay, so now that we are done with that, we're going to go ahead and play a really fun game. It's a fun online quiz that I got ready for us. I'm going to pull it up here. And of course, we're not going to do it today. But this is the quiz that I thought very interesting. It reviews area and perimeters for children. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is a very cool questionnaire. There are different true or false, or 2 multiple choices, or even 4. So it could confuse the kids a little bit, but if they understand area and if they understand perimeter, it would be pretty easy for them to figure it out. For example, this question, let's go ahead and do that one. So boys and girls, the distance around a shape is its area or perimeter. What do you think?
Perimeter.
Yay, high five, you did great. That's awesome. Woo. Very good. So of course, if you got the answer, you can also check it and see if it was right. Okay, so it was not area, it's perimeter. Very good. And so there's 16 questions, just like that. So I'm going to make the kids take it. And once they're done with the quiz, I'm going to go ahead and work on their assessment. Okay, this is the assessment I found very interesting, and I want the kids to go ahead and do it. It's finding the area of a rectangle using a rectangular grid or square units. So let me go ahead and share what I found here. Okay, so the kids will be able to go ahead and count the square unit and then put the number here of how many square units are in one shape. So let's go ahead and mimic the first problem that they'll work on. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at the first problem here. It's a square. Okay, how many square units are in the first square? What do you think?
4.
Yay, high five. Good job. Okay, 4 square units. Perfect. And so we're going to go off like that, and we're going to keep doing every single one. And I'm thinking of sending them 2 by 2s. So I think that would be really fun for them to just work on it together. Okay, boys and girls, now we are done with the formative. We're going to go ahead and take our quiz. Now, the quiz is not too difficult because if you understand area and perimeter, you will do just great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and time it for this purpose. But usually I will go ahead and let the kids take their time and not be rushed with it. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay. All right, boys and girls, here is your quiz. Please do your best. We're going to ask for the perimeter of each shape and the area of each shape. Remember, what is a perimeter? Is it an addition or a multiplication? What do you think? The perimeter
is addition.
Yes. And what about the area of a shape?
Multiplication.
Yes. What do you multiply?
The width and the length.
Yay! Very good. Okay, go ahead and work on your quiz. I'm going to give you some time. Do your best. And so that would be my final quiz or final assessment. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and do a little recap today. We learned about area and reviewed the information and parameters that we worked on last week and the week before that. We even watched a little YouTube video and had a blast reviewing some important points about area. We also figured out how to read an incredible book and how to discuss it with a visual aid. Then we did a great vocabulary review and a Kahoot game or a quiz game. After that, we were able to do a formative and a summative test. We worked really hard and we had so much fun while learning. For enrichment, or for those who are done with their quiz, I went ahead and printed out some more fun worksheets. And I also have an online link I will post on the whiteboard. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much for listening, and you have a great day. Bye.